Lights, camera, action. It's showtime.
Yeah. Yay! Hi, everybody.
Showtime was exactly the feeling I had like when Shashwat asked us about it. I was like, it didn't even take me a millisecond to think what was the word that came to my head because I swear we were not kids. We were like some superstars going up on that stage, and in the morning when we wake up, that's the anthem, and it's showtime.
The word I'll relate to the most with respect to the annual day is drama, because I think I've had a drama queen in myself since I've been a baby. I've been called a drama queen at home. So, like, annual day was all about drama and dance for me. What about you, Bianca?
Absolutely.
I think for me, the word really was energy. That was really the time where all our kind of pent up energy over the course of the year, where we're really planning and getting excited for annual day. That's when it all came out on the stage. We had one take. It's not like it was being filmed. It was just one shot. And I think energy was really what we were always told. And that was our moment to show it off.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, like, to think about it, I think the annual day was not only the show time, but it was the entire process that led to the show time. And I think those 2 months used to be like party in school.
Making
Like,
of the
I don't.
superstars. Like we were all superstars in the making, everything right from our zero periods to rehearsals, practice, all of it was just so crazy. And
I
I
think
think I think guys, it was more about the process more than anything else. Even
Yeah.
more than I think D-Day was like a bittersweet feeling because you know you're gonna go on stage, like it it's going to be the same old
I
guys.
know.
but I think zero period was great for somebody who'd like to bunk. I mean, what would you do sitting in class? I mean, nobody really liked to sit in class. Like everybody would be like, "Hey, I'm dancing," and like just run away, bunk around, move around. It used to be so much fun. Also because not every time people used to get the required space to dance. So especially if you were not dancing or practicing in the zero period hours, it used to be hilarious to just run around school.
I think the best part about zero period was like when the lectures used to get shortened, and especially if the maths period was shortened. I was the happiest person on this planet. I used to just like wait for
Plus
the
one.
periods to get shortened.
Math.
Guys, remind me, was zero period at the end of the class school day or would it happen in the middle? I'm trying to
In the
remember.
middle, I think it
I
used to
think it used to be
happen.
there in the beginning.
Yeah,
There were
sometimes
years.
during the day.
Sometimes in the beginning, sometimes in the. I think sports day was in the morning, maybe.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
agree.
annually I think was later. Yeah.
Sports day used
Oh
to be
man,
mornings
if
at
it
the
was.
beach, and then yeah.
Sometimes I miss the sound of the bell ringing because it actually tells you when you're done. Now you
Oh,
have to put your own alarm.
best.
Very specific
I
sound.
think that was. I think that was one bell ringing that we used to actually look forward to. Like literally
Yes.
look forward to. Okay, no new lecture.
Done.
Let's do
Done
this.
time. For me, I was never good at dance. And for me, getting my into annual day was like, I'll probably act, I'll probably sing, I'll probably do the acting right before the dance, and then I'll hop into the dance. There were a couple of annual days where that happened. But there were a couple where I was like, let me try the dance thing. So there was like a nervousness with the selection. I wanted to be, I'm a drama queen, just like all of us in this call. So I wanted to be in the front. But at the same time, I knew it's not my like thing. It's not the triple threat that I have.
I think the auditions were like the toughest part. Like it always gave me jitters. Like to like be good enough to be part of it, and not just be part of it, but be in the front row. Yeah, I was the same, I think.
I think
Exactly.
it was a little smooth sailing for me if I wave, but I used to help my friends
So
because I wanted them next to me. I'm like, yaar, just do this much, yeah. Then later on, we see what is to be done. So I used to be helping out, trying to like get my friends like, like on point.
I think we totally got our show on the day of the audition itself. Like we were like, this
Yeah.
is ride or die, guys. Like this is do or die. Gotta get into this dance. Like this was an exam that we'd want to pass through the other studies. We were like, no. This is my jam. Got to get into this. I used to love the auditions. I think in my head, I used to always think if the audition went well, I'd be like in the eyes of the choreographer. He'd like give me some she, whoever would give me some importance and put me in the front line. This was me, baby me thinking, kaise? How do we get this strategy going, man?
used to always be the same, just like that, trying to be all friendly with the choreographer and trying to like be in the good books, like how we'd be like the teacher's pet. At that time, I used to like try to be the choreographer's pet, just to be like in the good books and come in the front and be part of the best dance at that time.
That is very true, guys. But one more thing, like we're talking about skill and everything. I remember that, like from my batch, I think there were a few people, Sharik and like a few of them who were not very good at dancing, but they just had like this thing ki zero period milega. Like that was their motivation to crack the audition. They did not really, I think that passion is also what led to them ultimately being selected. But that was the thing about annual day. I mean, as competitive as it used to get and as fun as it was in terms of skill and all, सबका मतलब passion used to just like ooze out like that time, like bro, give it all you've got for like very different motives that everyone had.
I remember like for those, you know, auditions and rehearsals and stuff, changing into civvies, right? Changing into your like normal clothes. You guys remember that packing? Like which tights should I bring? What would I be wearing under? I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
your
think we used to
rehearsal clothes
also
used to be
have
different.
a lot of, we used to, I think, get out of class also a little earlier on the pretext that we're going to change. Okay, like we don't want to waste our dance time by
Right.
getting out to change. Very important.
So do you all remember the multiple practice locations that we had? Where did you all mostly have your practices?
Baby hall, junior school hall, and what was it called? Nursery hall, now? Baby hall and nursery hall.
Baby hall, nursery hall.
We
Yeah, I
even
remember.
shifted a few benches in the
Yes.
classroom when we used to practice. I remember doing that as well.
Do you
Like
remember
yeah,
Sorry,
we
guys.
did that. We used to move a few of the desks and benches and everything. And we used to make space. Shuru ho jao.
Do you remember the basement that had a very weird smell?
Funny.
The one where you used to
Yes, the one that is
The one
in the
that
nurse
one.
building.
Musty
Nurse
smell.
building.
Oh,
And I remember dreading dancing
think-
over there. Just dreading it because like your dancing breath is like getting faster. You're breathing all that nasty smell in. And then
It
by
used
the
to get
end you
so
get used to it
suffocating.
by the end of 2 hours.
I used to feel the worst for the peons because they'd really try hard. Like because people would eat there and probably
Yes.
mess the shit out of it.
They would
Peons used to
really
try
try
really
hard.
hard to clean it up for us, but it still was so bad. I wonder what it smells like now. Has it changed? I used to feel really bad for the kiddies because we used to like take over all the when we were older, we used to take over all the halls, like
The
main
premium
halls,
practice
and not
locations.
even
Yeah.
probably share the space. Like we used to not even share the space. It's like this dance has this space, nobody can enter it. So the kiddies used to literally have to be taught during school hours. It used to be funny because poor things are dancing like in the sun and like we are like taking over halls.
Dude,
And
yeah, and so you know these locations remind me sometimes, like my friends and I, we used to be like, oh, the seniors are practicing there and like you want to see what's happening. So baby hall ke bahar, I remember we used to have that space to fill water bottles. Faltu ka, we used to make reasons just to go and peep into the baby hall and see what's happening, what kind of action, like what is going on.
I also think back to it, I was like, we got a pretty good auditorium to perform in. Like the changing rooms were great. The like green rooms is what they were called.
yeah.
Green rooms, yes.
I have visions of it. I don't know if you guys do. You know, the memories, like it's
Yeah,
etched
absolutely.
in my memory. Yeah.
I even know that food was very important for me. So when I can visualize that the right hand side had the counter where the sandwiches and those
Sweet
rolls I
corn,
used to get.
popcorn.
And the left used to be full of those individual stands where those guys used to be giving popcorn and all that. Oh,
Okay, so fun fact about the food. I remember my mom telling me, listen, whatever you want to eat, you eat now because then you're going to put lipstick, you're going to do everything. I'm not letting you eat after that. I was like, what is this? Like, I remember, and I used to stuff myself, like no shits given, stuff myself for a performance, nicely, everything is done. And my mom's telling me, you have to go on stage. Like, are you sure you want to eat? I'm like, bring it on. Bhai da samosa, and no one can come between that. So
absolutely.
For me, I think it was the opposite. It was the opposite. Maybe because I was always this chubby, round kid, so I was always very stressed about looking like 500
Yeah.
grams. For me, I used to always eat after the dance was over or whatever the performance was over. It was like as if I'm rewarding myself with the vada pav over there. There were
No, so
times
I
we
wouldn't
had
give a shit.
Yeah, that's true.
there were
Go
times we
ahead.
had to even go out after the performance or like whatever, but like eating at Baidas was like a thing. Like I will, even if I'm going out for lunch later or I'm going for dinner or whatever, I have to eat that vada pav, then only I leave. It was like that.
Guys, how can we forget guys wearing lipstick? All of the boys wearing beautiful lipstick and that same lipstick going on their cheeks. And boys having like the best time of their lives. I can never forget because my brother faced this. So my brother, I remember my mom running behind him with a lipstick, and I used to have the best time ever. I'm like, you've got to do this. Like you have, there's no backing away from here. You have to put the lipstick. You have to. And he used to just be like, why did I ever sign up for this? But the lipstick bit and the boys, I have like hilarious pictures. If we can include it in the episode or whatever, Shashwat, please do so. But yeah,
Your brother's gonna kill you, man. Can somebody go back and tell anybody from like any school in any annual day that guys, red lipstick is not required. Like by putting red lipstick on that stage, they would. I'm sure you guys remember the statement. If you don't put red lipstick, you're not going to be seen only.
Yeah.
Matlab, human
Like you're
beings
not
are not seen.
on stage.
Only lips are
Yeah.
seen. And that was exactly what would come out in photos, guys. We used to be like this white face because powder
Powder.
to bahut hi dala hai. And then red lipstick. What was going on? Like I want to go back and tell somebody, guys, a decent normal lipstick will probably make the child look a little better and not be traumatized looking at the pictures when they grow up, man.
Do any of y'all remember any of those unique performances that we had, like the UV dances and stuff?
oh yeah.
I
We had
I remember
UV,
this
we
one.
had
We had
Go ahead,
these themes like good and bad, evil versus good, like the white costumes and the black costumes, and then things happening where the black people suddenly change their clothes and come in as white people, and we're like, whoa, what just happened, man? This is magic happening on the stage. These were the performances that I remember.
I remember some glow in the dark something because I think they would want to take and they would turn the whole auditorium dark. And we were like, yo, like we're doing this. It felt pretty cool to be in those glow in the dark type things.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is really jogging my memory. I feel like, annual day was so important to each of us. And this is like bringing back my main, like most cherished Maniji Hooper memories.
Oh,
In
man.
fact, I can't even forget the number of safety pins that my mom used to be like putting up all over my body to like let my costume stay intact. Did any of y'all have that experience, or maybe like a wardrobe malfunction or
I
anything
used
of
to
that
get
sort?
tired. I used to get tired of like removing the pins after the performance because you're like,
Yeah.
okay, let's get into normal clothes. But that entire process used to be like 20 minutes. Just remove pins.
Yeah.
removing pins. That's very true. Hairpins was another task, and your costume, holding your costume together was another task.
This reminds me like there was one performance like holding up the skirt. I think Ashna, that play only, everyone was wearing long skirts. And we were like dancing, and I remember like it being a little loose or like weird. I remember trying to hold on to it because I was like, of course we had stuff we were wearing under it, but like you were like the fear of like ye gir na jaye, but at the same time you have that expression on your face like I'm doing it, but I'm inside like thinking don't fall, don't fall, don't fall.
For all of us,
I think we weren't even allowed to like have Bollywood songs, na? I think very rarely they would add Bollywood songs. Mostly it was like English songs, or like some rock and roll or some those kind of
I
performances.
think only the older batches were allowed.
Yeah.
Older batches were allowed to do Bollywood songs. Younger
So
batches
older
were
batches
never.
were allowed, but I remember in the 5th grade, when I was in the 5th, we were allowed to do one Bollywood act, and we did this song, but only because it was on India. The theme was something on Independence Day. Song Suno Gaur Se Duniya Walo, and I can't tell y'all how excited I was to do a Bollywood
I remember this performance. Sorry, Ramu, I'm also super passionate. Suno Gaur Se Duniya Walo. And the way we used to
But that song is overused.
Yeah, bro, we used to sing on stage.
It really is.
Sabse aage hoge Hindustan. Everyone.
I grew older and I was in like 8th and 9th and all, I used to find it damn hilarious and still feel really bad for the babies because like over time we learned where to stand on the stage, how to not like be like almost falling off or like be in the mark where you're behind the curtain when it closes. So it used to be so funny when like the babies have reached right ahead and the curtains are closing behind because the performance is over and the kids are like suddenly, "Arey, मैं कहाँ जाऊँ? Arey, where is this curtain?" And then you're like frantic,
Cutest
like
thing.
it's
Complete
It really
disorientation at
was.
that point. Stage lights turned off, and you don't know where you are, what you're doing. You're just lost.
Yeah.
but I like how we grew, we grew every performance. We knew what to do, what not
As
to
a
do.
performer as
I think
well.
I think annual day in itself was such a great teaching, and I'm really glad that we had the opportunity to go through that entire process of because not everybody is inclined to doing a particular thing, and I think we'd really get bored of just education if it wasn't included with all these fun activities. So I think it really made a big difference in everybody's personality development also. Yeah.
Going off of that, I feel even the teachers, dude, like some of them were very supportive. Like I remember it wasn't like, like, okay, you've missed a few concepts in class, maybe you want to, like, they used to kind of be flexible about it. Okay, yeah. And you know what? One more thing that really used to touch my heart, like at that point, used to be all of these teachers like walking up and being like, "We saw you on stage. Are you dance so well?" Like it's something that they kind of, that used to be very genuine.
Hidden
I remember
talent.
like, and some of my like Madhuri and all guys used to tell me in Marathi ki, "Arey, chhan sundar performance kelas tu." And I used to be like,
Yeah.
"Thank you." Like that used to be
I
very, very
earned
touching.
it.
Yeah.
But like
Teachers.
I used to like how smoothly, just like everything that has its course of ending, like from preparation to everything that we go through till the last performance of an annual day, it comes to such a smooth and very satisfying end and done it. I think, yeah, it's like
Definitely.
all the teachers and the parents and the choreographers. I think hats off to all of them for really giving us all of their energy, patience, not only with studies, also with helping us dance, developing ourselves.
Going off of that, like exactly right. It was so inclusive, like overall as an event. It just brought everyone so much closer, gave us so many memories that I mean it's been so many years. It's still like I can't even imagine. I was going through those pictures at 2 a.m. Like in the morning. I'm still, like I'm pumped looking at each one of them because there are so many memories attached to like every photo, every performance. It just takes you back. It's like etched. And when you're living it, you don't know ki, okay, you're gonna look back at this and be like, good old days, dude. Like it's like very, very like overwhelming and wholesome at the same time. I feel the entire
Speaking of
experience.
teachers, I feel like sometimes we really have to thank them because when you're that young, you don't quite know what you're so good at yet, right? Like I think I joined Maningji Kupa in the second standard and I was 2 weeks into the school year. So it was a very nerve-wracking time. Like I was like, how do I get acclimated? How do I make friends? There was so much on my mind. And I remember Lalita Miss, who was my first teacher, really amazing woman. I hope you guys remember her. She called on me to be part of an annual day. And I think that started my interest in wanting to be in every annual day. I like thank her for that because even though I was late and I think selections had already happened, she was like, let's pull Bianca in. And thanks to her, every annual day has been so special thereafter because I've seeked it out. After that one moment that someone sees it in you, then you're like, okay, this is my thing.
Yeah,
That's
just speaking about all of this is just making me very heavy in the eyes now. It's just like bringing back all it's like so nostalgic. I think we can just go about talking about all of this for like hours. Like annual day is something I think all of us can just be talking on and on about. We have just so many memories. I think this one video call is not going to be enough to capture it all.
I think
But
will have to like tell us to keep quiet. Like enough, guys, enough.
yeah, totally. But I guess this is what school was all about. Stay tuned for more exciting content and episodes to be coming and keep you engaged throughout the week.
Hats off to the podcast team. Thank you for letting us do
Hell
this, guys.
yeah.